for the second half.
Has anyone gone off? Are they playing with 13 players on?
There's the Swiss referee tonight, who felt the need to show a yellow card to Fàbregas in the first half, which they don't like to do on a night like this, an international friendly, but Vidal was unceremoniously upended by the Barcelona man, so he's in the book. Silva gets his first touch, and we're back underway in the second half. Looks as though Iniesta has come on for Xavi to start the second half, Steve, so we won't see the two Barcelona players next to each other, but not a bad replacement, is it, when you can take off Xavi and send on Iniesta. Here's Isla, who dominated down the right for Chile in the first half. I can't find Vidal.
Yeah, I think Santi Cazorla's gone off as well.
So Fàbregas is off. In fact, Xavi's still on the field. So Fàbregas replaced by Iniesta, and just getting word through the changes that have been made by Spain. We'll bring those to you in a second, because here's Pedro showing a nice turn of foot. And there's a good save by Bravo following Cazorla's strike. First time the goalkeeper for Chile's been called into action tonight.
Yeah, and it's much better, a lot of pace. Good effort by Santi Cazorla, simple enough save by Bravo.
Corner taken quickly. It's in towards Ramos, who's now wearing the armband, and Javi Garcia just unable to latch onto that. Bravo down quickly. So the Spanish changes, Navas and Iniesta on for Xavi and Fàbregas to start this second half. Such an embarrassment of riches in terms of talent in this Spain squad.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see how Santi Cazorla plays now in a more central position with Andrés Iniesta.
And it looks as though Silva's come on for David Pizarro, who saw plenty of it in that deep line midfield role in the first half.
Yeah, he did very well, David Pizarro.
Here is Silva, dispossessing Iniesta. Isla. Vidal challenged by Monreal, who doesn't come away with the ball. Javi Garcia's challenge brings a throw into Chile. Just wonder whether Spain might try and lift the tempo a little bit in the second half to try and assert themselves on the match, whether the introduction of Iniesta and Navas might do that.
I think what they have got for the first time, and they've got two out-and-out wide men if they wanted to be. Pedro on one side, Jesús Navas the other side. Two wingers with a lot of pace.
There is confirmation that Francisco Silva is on for David Pizarro. And we will expect more changes from both Del Bosque and Sampaoli in the second half. Here's Iniesta for Spain. Now Pedro. Overlapping Pedro is Nacho Monreal. Back instead to Iniesta. Now Monreal. Trying to wriggle away from Francisco Silva. The cross blocked by Isla. That's going to be a corner to Spain. Still to really see the best of Nacho Monreal in the Premier League for Arsenal, but as the season wears on, I'm sure he's going to be a more significant factor for Arsene Wenger. Silva's certainly made an early impression. Here's Cazorla. Cazorla draws two defenders. Navas will play it backwards. Spain continue to build with Arbeloa. Floated into the penalty area towards Soldado. And the boot was high from Javi Garcia. And Medel certainly felt the full force of that. They know Gary Medel, of course, from his time in La Liga, where he was a bit of a hothead, wasn't he, Steve? He got sent off quite a few times, Gary Medel.
I mean, I think we have to be honest. You see Javi Garcia, I don't think he collides with his face at all. Let's have a look. No, I don't think so. The way he's holding it, Medel.
Calling the pit bull, Gary Medel. Managed to keep his temper in check so far with Cardiff. Chile have been given another free kick, and again it's Javi Garcia, the offender, this time on Marcos Gonzalez.
Yeah, I don't think that was a foul either. I think he just you can judge for yourselves there. He got away with it.
Diaz plays the ball out towards Mena. Here's Silva. Medel buys himself some time. Below. Albiol to Ramos. Ramos is wearing the captain's armband since Xavi went off at half-time. Of course, one of the iconic figures of Chilean football is well regarded in Spanish football circles. Ivan Zamorano, the former captain, their all-time leading goal scorer at international level, scored over 100 goals for Real Madrid, 4 years at the Bernabeu. Here's Alexis Sánchez, who couldn't quite wriggle through the whole of the Spanish defence. That was certainly his intention.
Yeah, but he went and won it back, that's the main thing. There he is on the ball.
Spain, the only nation ever to win 3 successive tournaments, and it's amazing to think they went from November 2006 to June 2009 unbeaten in 35 matches before they lost, surprisingly, to the USA. Here's Alexis Sánchez. Isla is always available whenever they come forward. This time he just mistimes his run, and Spain get the free kick, but he's such an important part, isn't he, of this Chile team, Mauricio Isla.
Yeah, he was offside, just a little bit slow, getting the pass away, Alexis Sánchez, but great energy, Isla, up and down.
Been a bit sloppy with regards to offsides, Chile tonight. 5th time they've had a player caught offside, so maybe something for them to work on in the second half. Here's Bravo. Diaz was given time to turn. Here's Silva. It's a feature of the way Juventus play the attacking fullbacks. You see Lichtsteiner down one side and Mauricio Isla down the other. Seems to be where the Juventus width comes from. It's a shape that Chile use as well. It's been a group of players who have been together for a period of time, this Spanish side. Iker Casillas, Xavi and Sergio Ramos occupy 3 of the top 4 slots in terms of all-time caps leaders for Spain. Their former goalkeeper Zubizarreta is the other one rounding out the top 4, but when you think that Xabi Alonso, Fernando Torres, Carlos Puyol and David Villa are in the top 10 as well, it's been a team that's come together and lasted for a period of time, which is often the way the great sides are built. Here come Chile though, leading the game, and they've been the better side so far tonight against the world and European champions. Here's Diaz, and now Silva. It's forward towards Vidal, away by Ramos. Picked up by Pedro, and now Iniesta. Iniesta looked for Pedro, who will chase. Medel across. It's good defending by Medel.
He's looked very assured.
Certainly not cut from the same cloth as his club manager as far as being a centre-half, is he? Malky Mackay.
They like to knock it around though, don't they, Chile?
Anywhere.
Look at that.
Really good football. Trying to get Vargas away. He was on a hat-trick, remember. Good defending by Albiol for Spain. Sergio Ramos. It's a neat turn by Cazorla. In by Pedro towards Soldado, and Medel did just enough.
Yeah, Soldado was in, wasn't he? Medel does do enough. Question marks whether it may have brushed his arm there, but maybe if you give him for that, he was ahead.
Still the Spanish tempo remains low. There's Nacho, Monreal, Iniesta, who's been at Barcelona since he was 12 years of age. He's been at the club 17 years, 5 years less than Xavi, who's been there 22. It's amazing to think that they could find the two young players almost at the same time, and bring them through into the same team and nurture them and help them become European champions and world champions and dominate at club level. I was reading an article on the way down today about the big three in Milan, Rijkaard, Van Basten and Gullit, how they became synonymous with that club, and the article pointed out that Xavi and Iniesta are the two that it's taken until this time to find a couple of more names that you would associate with a club to that level. And it's a fair point, isn't it? They've been so ingrained in the culture and the success at Barcelona, and with the Spanish national team as well.
Yeah, very much so. Barcelona have always had players born in the area, but they've never had success like this on a national level and of course at a club level. And now with the likes of Sergio Busquets, you know, backing them up, you know, they've got an abundance of players there. Fine youth academy they've got, the La Masia in Barcelona.
Means the likes of Thiago Alcantara might have to wait his turn, and Nilara Mendy as well. Two very promising young players. Here's Alexis Sánchez, who was looking for the run of Isla. Didn't quite work that time for Chile, but they certainly know what it takes to get in behind this Spanish defence. Here's Pedro, whose cross led to the Spanish goal in the first half, and he's just caught Silva, the offender. He's picked up really Silva where Pizarro left off at half-time. He's been on the ball a lot, looks very comfortable in the middle of the Chile midfield. Iniesta for Spain, always able to buy himself the extra second on the ball.
It's just in this position here, Darren, don't you think? Spain don't throw many men forward, whether it's just, you know, today or, you know, they have been so successful, but when you see that bank of white shirts drowning out Soldado, I almost feel sorry for Roberto Soldado this evening.
They'll get the free kick now for Yara's challenge on Arbeloa.
Yeah, a little bit of obstruction.
So used to seeing Spain in those kind of areas, Steve, and then men flooding into the box, aren't we? But it's not happening tonight.
I mean, who do you think is the best number 9 for Spain, Darren? Soldado, Negredo, Fernando Torres?
I'll tell you in a second. Cazorla's free kick, headed away as far as Pedro. Here's Iniesta. So many white shirts between the man in possession and the goal, and that really didn't work from Pedro. In answer to your question, Steve, I always got the feeling that Spain were more balanced when they got David Villa through the centre and the two wide players playing off him, without that orthodox number 9 as such.
As I said before, I watched the Confederations Cup and they chopped and changed in that centre-forward position, hoping to find something that, you know, really stood out, and it looks as if they're still searching for me.
So Sergio Ramos' night's work is over, replaced by his colleague, the Bernabeu, Nacho. Jose Ignacio Fernandez, Nacho to you and I. So we've got Nacho at right back and Nacho at centre-half as well. Valdés will take a seat, and Pepe Reina enters the fray for Spain. In any other era, either Pepe Reina or Victor Valdés would have a lot of international caps, but they came along at just the wrong time with Iker Casillas. Very much the number 1 in the Spanish national team, despite not being number 1 for Real Madrid, it would appear these days. Many thought it was because of a falling out with Jose Mourinho, but Ancelotti has stuck with the tried and trusted method towards the end of last season. Here come Chile. Isla's made a really good run and they found him. Out comes Reina and did just enough to deny Mauricio Isla. Danger not clear. In by Vidal, it's a good cross, and it's decent defending by Arbeloa. Now Yara. Diaz towards Yara once more. Again they try and look for the space, Chile. This time it's read by Raul Albiol. And And they should be able to play this away, but they were stretched again, the Spanish defenders.
In that position behind the left back. And if my only criticism would be, I thought he could have give the pass to Isla a second or two sooner, and he would have had a little bit more space there. But again, he was rewarded for a great run, Isla, yet again behind Nacho Monreal.
Spain's turn to attack. Navas looking to wriggle through. Mainly with the challenge for Chile. Throw-in taken quickly. Here's Iniesta, now Cazorla. Arbeloa, back to Arsenal's Cazorla again. Now here's Javi Garcia. Spain going backwards. And then eventually giving the ball away to Isla, who's been the star of the show as far as Chile are concerned, both defensively and attacking down the right-hand side. Nacho challenged. Silva takes his time. It's not been the kind of night defensively that will make Arsenal supporters feel confident. Looking what Isla's done to Nacho Monreal down the Spanish left side. Here's Iniesta. Two-way to the centre, one of them Soldado, still Andrés Iniesta. Well, even the great ones sometimes can get it wrong. That face has got glummer the longer the match has gone on. Well, it didn't start off looking like Del Bosque will be the life and soul of the Geneva party tonight. Chile bidding for their first ever victory against Spain. 4 previous meetings have resulted in Spanish success, including the group game at the World Cup in South Africa in Pretoria, which Spain won 2-1. Marcelo Bielsa was the coach that night. He's in La Liga these days with Athletic Bilbao. Here's Vidal. Took a little bit too long in possession. Nacho can tidy things up for Spain, and now Navas. Given away though by Navas. Vidal once more turns into trouble. Iniesta towards Cazorla, who can't hold it. Cazorla's been really off the pace tonight. Here's Isla, he certainly hasn't. That's towards Vargas, and Reina quickly off his line. Certainly match winners in this Spanish team, and lots of them, but it seems to me that far too many are having off nights at the same time. Here's one of the match winners potentially, Pedro of Barcelona. Cazorla busy. It's out towards Navas, who's certainly got the pace to move away from the defender. Gonzalez able to clear. Soldado was the target for Navas. Back now with Arbeloa. Not too much movement from Spain, still they're well organised, Chile. Soldado to Iniesta. Now to Garcia. Garcia closed down so quickly by Vidal. Spain seem to be going backwards as often as they go forwards. That's towards Soldado from Pedro, and straight through to Claudio Bravo.
Yeah, it's a difficult ball for Roberto Soldado.
I think we've just become so used to seeing Spain create chance after chance, wave after wave of attack, and it seems to be as big a surprise to them as it is to us.
Yeah, they never seem to have an off night. And tonight they're having one. There's still plenty of time left, but they need some impetus from somewhere.
Below with the foul on Alexis Sánchez. David Villa still available, Alvaro de Grado, Jordi Alba, who might pep things up in an attacking sense. Alba from a deeper position maybe. As Marcelo Diaz prepares to deliver this free kick into the Spanish penalty area. Marcos Gonzalez has gone forward, the tall number 3. Here it comes from Diaz, and it's an opportunity for a third, and Reina didn't need the touch in the end. It was Gonzalez and Medel who were looking to apply the finish. Soldado as baffled as everybody else.
I was baffled. How bad is this defensively? Look at the movements. And so many white shirts could have hit the ball. That was offside. And Medel wasn't offside when the free kick was taken. Maybe a couple of people at the back were, but...
So Soldado is off. He's replaced by Negredo. So one Premier League striker for another. Soldado of Tottenham, replaced by Negredo of Manchester City. 2 goals in 3 games for Negredo. There's the best moment of the night for Soldado, powerfully heading in Pedro's cross. It's the only real opportunity he had all night.
Well, it's the best part of the night and the only part of the night for Soldado and for the Spanish side. Apart from a snapshot at the beginning of the second half by Santi Cazorla, they haven't offered anything, Spain.
Negredo scored against Finland on Friday. And while both Soldado and Negredo have got 2 goals in the Premier League so far this season for their respective new clubs, you could certainly make the argument that Negredo is the more confident of the two, having scored twice in open play and seemingly settling slightly quicker than Soldado. Here's Iniesta opening up for Spain. Pedro's made a fantastic run. Instead it goes to Negredo. Negredo looks for Pedro, and it's a chase on for the Spaniard. Pedro able to find Navas, then back to Pedro. What looked to be a promising position for Spain, though, didn't really come to much. Nacho, Monreal to Pedro. Here's Cazorla, gets it back from Iniesta. Was Cazorla caught? He was. It was Mania's challenge. In fact, it might well have been Vidal who got the first touch.
It looked like Mania, actually.
I wonder whether Vidal has spoken out of turn.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Certainly seemed to be Mania who got there first, didn't it, rather than Arturo Vidal, but Vidal was very quick to voice his complaints to the Swiss referee.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I think Vidal offers his foot there, but there's no collision, isn't it? If anything, it's Mania who brings Santi Cazorla down.
Must be for dissent and a yellow card for Vidal, but in the meantime, it's a promising position this for Spain. They haven't had too many of these kind of situations tonight. See whether they can conjure something up from the free kick. Bravo making sure the wall is in the right spot. Cazorla over the free kick for Spain. And it's straight into the wall from Santi Cazorla. Hooked into the danger. I think the ball had just actually rolled out of play. It was a forlorn chase down the right-hand side for Arbeloa. Just going back to that previous Spanish attack, though, it seemed so promising with Iniesta, Pedro, Negredo. You don't often make the suggestion that Iniesta played the wrong ball, but Pedro seemed to be the most likely, didn't he?
Yeah, to be honest, the ball that he played, Negredo, could have easily been a decent enough ball, but he just knocked it too far wide. He put Negredo off balance, and then Negredo's chip across the far post was off balance. So we keep going back to the same words all the time. We said it after about 5 minutes, or you certainly said it, Darren, sloppy, and that's what it's been tonight.
Nacho's header for Spain. Here's Silva. No Silva for Spain tonight. David Silva, he's got a thigh muscle strain, so he must be considered out for Manchester City's Premier League match at the weekend. Isco unavailable to Del Bosque, Busquets as well. Here's Eduardo, Vargas looking for the hat-trick. Across comes Raul Albiol to tidy things up for Spain. Looks a good player, doesn't he, Eduardo Vargas? Only 23.
Yeah.
Took his second goal superbly well.
Yeah, all the Spanish players are household names, certainly to the English supporters. Yeah, there's a few potential little superstars in that Chilean side.
Their reputations will grow, of course, if they get to Brazil and make an impact. It was the making of Alexis Sánchez in South Africa. Here is Alexis Sánchez losing the ball. Albiol. There's Pedro, probably been Spain's most consistent attacking threat so far tonight. His cross led to Soldado's headed goal in the first half. He's looked the liveliest of the forward players. So later on tonight, United States against Mexico. You can see that on BT2 HD at 1 o'clock. So USA against Mexico, if you fancy staying up for that one, BT Sport HD2. 1 o'clock in the morning, and don't forget we've got more Barclays Premier League football this Saturday. Manchester United against Crystal Palace, on air at 11:30 with the build-up, and it kicks off at 12:45 at Old Trafford. Here's Iniesta for Spain. Chile still holding on to the lead, not unduly threatened either since the restart. And Iniesta, who we thought might be a player who could unlock this Chile defence when he came off the bench, he's fallen into a similar malaise that have affected the other players in Spanish shirts tonight. And there's a challenge on Alexis Sánchez. And it's a yellow card for Santi Cazorla for the challenge.
I think that might have been what he said to the referee as well, waving his arms around Santi Cazorla. You can't do that, whether it... He gets a touch on it there, so you can see why Santi Cazorla is upset, but his reaction then, you know, just wasn't acceptable to the referee. And as I said, whether it's a friendly or a full international, you can't wave and shout your arms, wave your arms and shout at the referee.
Certainly been commitment on both sides tonight, judging by the number of fouls committed on both sides of things. Now, even though it's a friendly international, it would be a victory that would mean so much to this Chile side. Spain, of course, defending the proud unbeaten runs that they tend to go on, but as far as Jorge Sampaoli is concerned, it's all about taking steps and being ready for the World Cup in Brazil next summer. And if they can add the scalp of Spain to their list of victories under their new coach, it really would be a shot in the arm in terms of confidence and belief that they can go to the tournament and beat the very best in the world. And there's no shortage of talent and ability in this Chile team either. When you think of some of the players that we're watching tonight.
Yeah, I agree, Dan. If you're going to play a game, and a competitive game, you want to go and win the game. Pointless playing a friendly and losing, not gaining anything, not learning anything. They'll learn a lot tonight, Chile. Spain, on the other hand, I don't think will learn that much, and maybe a couple of the fringe players, Del Bosque, will have a better idea of how they can play looking forward to the future, but I don't think the main 11 will necessarily worry in the Spanish side.
Spain have been ranked #1 in the FIFA rankings since September 2011. They're 21st at the moment, Chile, but you would have felt that they will rise and continue to rise with these kind of performances.
Yeah, they don't deserve to be 21st in the FIFA rankings, do they? I think we all know what we feel about the FIFA rankings.
Walked on by Negredo. Nacho Monreal can't control. Here's Vargas giving the ball away to Iniesta, now Cazorla. Fantastic low centre of gravity and balance shown by Cazorla. Arbeloa. Now Navas looking to accelerate for Spain. Back to Javi Garcia, the two Manchester City players combining. Three City players now on the field in this Spanish side. Navas, Negredo and Javi Garcia. Two from Arsenal in Cazorla and Nacho Monreal. So a real Premier League flavour to the Spanish side at the moment, but they can't break down this Chile defence. There's a challenge by Nacho, the other Nacho. I think Sampaoli might need a warm down at the end of the game. He's not stopped Macca since the kickoff.
Isn't it great to see, though? It shows how much it means to a game like this, many thousands of miles away from his homeland, and he's as vocal as anybody.
Didn't have much of a playing career, Sampaoli. Had a couple of years at Newell's Old Boys, but nothing to speak of really in terms of a playing pedigree, but certainly made an impact as far as coaching the Chilean national team goes. They brought him in because he's so similar in his beliefs to Marcelo Bielsa. And And a lot of what was good about Chile during Bielsa's reign is evident again tonight.
And to a certain extent, that's what's happened with the Barcelona side, hasn't it, Darren? Gerard Martino, he's another disciple of Marcelo Bielsa, and that's why Barcelona went and got him from South America and brought him in, ex-Newell's old boy side manager. Seems to have the right ethos how they play football.
Here's Gonzalo Yara in the Championship at Nottingham Forest. Forward towards Vidal, who's been slightly quieter in the second half, having really dominated things in the centre of the midfield in the first. Space here for Isla, we've said that many times tonight. Alexis Sánchez back to Marcos Gonzalez. Isla, the ever-available target. That's nice play. Mauricio Isla for Chile. Looks for Alexis Sánchez, who's able to beat Javi Garcia to the ball. In towards Alexis Sánchez, just wide.
Should have scored. He's normally quite prolific with his head, Alexis Sánchez, and he was excellent in that movement, whether it was a flick ball to Isla or, you know, pass out wide and then getting into the box. Lots and lots of space, as you can see there. Just put it wide.
Just wonder whether the cross lacked a yard of pace. He had to try and guide it and provide the power at the same time, didn't he, Alexis Sánchez?
Yeah, very much so.
Here's Yara. Diaz to Silva. Yara looking for Vidal. Negredo will challenge for Spain. He's done well, Negredo, and he's got Pedro in space. Didn't really provide the right quality of ball, and they got away with that, Chile. Really good position for Alvaro Negredo.
And it looked an easy pass as well. But that's just symptomatic of Spain all night. Whether it was the starting 11 or the substitutes.
There's a foul by Vidal on Iniesta. He's on a yellow card, Vidal. He's got to be careful. I think Iniesta did him a favour by jumping up as quickly as he did. Spain on the attack. There's a shot by Navas. And it was a comfortable save in the end for Claudio. Bravo.
Better by Spain, a little bit more route one. It was a lovely ball by Santi Cazorla. Good touch by Navas. Just had to aim more to this far post. Simple enough saver for Bravo.
Interesting character, Jesús Navas. He suffered terribly from homesickness when he was young, which certainly stunted his development as a player. And I think that Manchester City with Begiristain went through a whole range of questions and scenarios to make sure that Navas really wanted to make the move from Spain to England, and they're satisfied that he does. His brothers come over with him. He's playing for Bury at the same time to try and help him settle in, but certainly a complex character as well as a very talented footballer, Jesús Navas. Here's Cazorla. Cazorla wriggles away from Silva. It's a chance for Pedro to cross, but not the quality we're so used to seeing from Pedro of Barcelona. More head-scratching for Del Bosque. Certainly a busy night of football across Europe with quite a few of the home nations involved. Here's another change in the meantime for Spain. Javi Garcia coming off. And Koke is on. Koke, one of the young players from Atletico Madrid, who was part of the under-21 team that won the European Championships in the summer. So these are some of the World Cup qualifying scores tonight. Northern Ireland being held 1-1 in Luxembourg. Still 0-0 between Macedonia and Scotland. You can see that on BT Sport HD1. And 0-0 between Austria and the Republic of Ireland. 0-0 Ukraine, England, and Serbia 2-0 up against Chris Coleman's Wales. I think if If you said to Roy Hodgson, do you want to take the 0-0 now, he'd happily get back on the plane, wouldn't he, and bring England home.
Yeah, they're playing well, Ukraine, aren't they? Struggled earlier on, but they've found a little bit of form.
You wonder whether, with time running out, Spain can find a way through this Chile side. Here's Pedro. Nacho Monreal's made the run, he was forced to go back for the ball though. Now Cazorla. Pedro denied the turn by Marcos Gonzalez, who then beats Iniesta to the ball as well. Determined defending by Chile, we've seen that all night long. Iniesta to Navas. That's in towards Negredo, and very confident defending by Isla, who seems to be equally composed at either end of the field.
Yeah, real cool play by Isla. And there he is again, he's off again. There's the ball through.
He's been fantastic to watch, Mauricio Isla. Now Alexis Sánchez trying to get the better of Nacho. He wants the corner, and he'll get it. Been a bit ponderous, haven't they, when they've gone forward, Spain? But Chile have got the ability to really hit Spain quickly and get the ball forward from front to back.
I mean, that was a real quick break. That was a goal kick, I think. The last touch did come off Alexis Sánchez there. But still, they deserve a little bit of luck.
Into the last 10 minutes, Spain have qualifiers in October against Belarus and Georgia, both at home. One win will guarantee victory and top spot in Group I, and a place in the finals next summer. Chile with the corner. Gonzalez up from the back again, one of the central defenders. It's in towards him, headed away by Nacho, returned by Diaz. Here's Silva. Now Vidal. It's a shot by Alexis Sánchez, which is blocked by Albiol. Still not clear as far as Spain are concerned. Out comes Reina, will try and beat Vidal to the ball. Good goalkeeping by Pepe Reina. Read the situation extremely well and had to time the slide to perfection.
Another good opportunity for Chile. I thought Alexis Sánchez was going to put Vargas in. When his shot was blocked, you see Vargas throw his arms in the air. Wasn't happy with his teammates. Felt he could have got a hat-trick.
Those two will renew acquaintances in Serie A this season. You can follow Serie A all season long on BT Sport. Reina at Napoli and Vidal at Juventus. Here's Iniesta at Barcelona. Through towards Cazorla. Makes a bit of room, Cazorla. It's a decent run by the Arsenal man. Now here's Navas. Navas looking for Pedro. No, he didn't find Pedro. Nacho Monreal keeps the ball in play and settles for the throw-in following the challenge by Isla. Spain just looking to quicken the tempo, but that's sloppy. Vargas, though, can't keep the ball. And it's worked out towards Arsenal's Nacho Monreal. Infield to Cazorla. Now Iniesta. Good challenge by Vidal. And then cleared away by Mania. And Yara just made him hurry. Not the best of balls by Yara. And he's not been able to solve the puzzle all night, has he, Del Bosque? Here's Nacho Monreal. You wonder whether they might be pushed back significantly, Chile, in the final few moments of this match. Here's Cazorla, given away by Cazorla.
You do feel sometimes that Spain should throw a few more men forward.
Certainly a little surprised we've not seen David Villa.
Yeah. You know, if you look at that big picture there, there's Negredo, the edge of the area, surrounded by white shirts. Everybody wants to come short and have a little touch of the ball.
Here's Iniesta, so often the man who's able to unlock the tightest of defences. Now Albiol. Navas to take on Mania. Now Arbeloa. Back to Jesús Navas. They're waiting for the cross in the middle. Negredo was the target. Good defending by Medel.
Yeah, that was better, wasn't it?
It's been solid, hasn't he, Gary Medel, as a central defender tonight?
Brilliant.
Now Nacho for Spain. Andrés Iniesta. Nacho Monreal. Isla, the defender, he's had a fantastic match, hasn't he, Mauricio Isla?
Yeah. If you look at the array of fullbacks out there, Darren, he's been by far the best, hasn't he?
Almost played Alexis Sánchez in. I think he felt there was handball there. Albiol able to play on and come forward, and he can find Navas with the ball. Negredo in the centre, and he didn't get the touch. There was the chance for Spain, and Navas knows it.
Yeah. Whether Negredo thought he was offside, Darren, I don't know, but it looked as if he was begging just to be knocked into the empty net. There's Alexis Sánchez. It was handball, wasn't it? It looked as if Alexis Sánchez hit his arm and then it went on to Albiol's arm. Alexis Sánchez is indicating that it's his chest under his arm.
So Vargas goes off with less than 5 minutes to go. The man has got both goals tonight for Chile, and a familiar face, Jean Beausejour of Wigan, is on for the final few moments. Beausejour, like Alexis Sánchez, one of the Chile players who made his name in South Africa, and we know all about him from his time in the Premier League with Birmingham and Wigan. Not featured for Wigan so far this season in the Championship, but he'll get some minutes under his belt here against the world champions.
Look at Sampaoli on the touchline. 85 minutes of a friendly. He's got 4 minutes to go. He knows how important it is.
This really will be a big night for Chile. They won't be describing it as a friendly. At the end of this one, it'll just be known as the victory against the world champions, if they can hang on.
Correct. Why not? Why not?
The last time Spain lost a match before that Confederations Cup defeat was the 1-0 defeat to England, which was totally against the run of play. They're few and far between defeats for Spain. You've either got to catch them on a bad night or have a very good night yourself if you're going to beat them, and I think it's been a combination of the two tonight,
yes,
hasn't it?
Yeah, this hasn't been a great Spanish performance, but I've been very impressed with Chile. I think we knew they were a good side, Chile, but it's nice to see them in Europe. It's nice to put names to faces. There's been a couple of standout players, no more than Isla in this right-back position. I thought he's been excellent.
Certainly not that Eduardo Vargas won't forget anytime soon. His second goal was extremely well taken. There was an element of fortune about the first one, but the second one was an example of very impressive centre-forward play. Bravo punts it long. Nacho Monreal happy to settle for the throw-in, but time is against Spain now, and they've got to hurry. Marcos Gonzalez has been extremely solid defensively alongside Cardiff's Gary Medel. Both Soldado in the first half and more recently Negredo have found it very difficult to get by them. There's a collision between Nacho and Vidal. Vidal's not been any stranger to physical contact in this game, has he?
No, not at all.
And when this game finishes, there'll be about half an hour to go in the Macedonia against Scotland game, and Scotland had just scored through Ikechi Anya, so Scotland 1-0 up in Macedonia, and that game will continue over on BT Sport HD1 when this one finishes in a couple of minutes' time. Final minute then. Let's see if Spain can salvage something from the match. Here's Navas. I think it would be harsh on Chile now if they were denied the victory as well as they played tonight. Koke.
Yeah, they just lose a little bit of momentum, Spain. Chile get behind the ball.
Here's Koke again, now Cazorla. Lots of passing from Spain, but no real impetus and no cutting edge, no fluidity. They're so inventive normally, the Spanish, not tonight. Koke once more. Back it goes to Nacho, and then out towards Navas. Pedro and Negredo way to the middle. Pedro now. Negredo available, good save by Bravo. Had to get there, didn't he?
Yes, he did. It was a wonderful chance, wasn't it, into the last minute of the game. And one that Pedro should have done better with. Doesn't connect at all. Lovely ball by Jesús Navas. You see here, not a great connection.
Lots of football tonight on BT Sport. Mentioned the game earlier, the United States match. Well, just after that, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's Brazil against Portugal. You can see that on BT Sport HD1 from 2 AM. Real mouth-watering game that between Brazil, the World Cup host next summer, and Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo with a hat-trick in the World Cup qualifier against Northern Ireland on Friday. As we move into 3 minutes of additional time in Geneva, and Spain still pushing for an equaliser. Here's Negredo. Good run made by Pedro, found by Negredo, and it's in! And it's an equaliser from Jesús Navas, and all of Chile's hard work will come for nothing.
Is that a smile there on Vicente? And it was virtually a replay of the chance they've just had. The ball from Jesús Navas to Pedro, and this time it was Negredo to Pedro. Lovely ball by Negredo. Pedro gets a little touch on it. Leaves Bravo floundering. I don't know whether he pulls his arms away there, Bravo. He certainly looks like. And Jesús Navas does what he should do, coming at the far post. I don't know whether it was an own goal. But anyway, it's in the back of the net, and it's 2-2. You see. Yeah, Jesús Navas is claiming it. Suggests that he gets the final touch.
Tired legs and tired minds, and a team who had never beaten able to score an injury time equaliser through Jesús Navas, which is so harsh on Chile, isn't it? Because you could see what it meant to them tonight, particularly their coach Sampaoli. And you wonder now whether Spain might actually force another chance to even win the match. Here's Cazorla in towards Negredo, away by Medel. Spain have got the bit between their teeth, they've got a taste for it now. Cazorla. Space for Navas. Navas couldn't quite keep it in play. Negredo was waiting for the cross in the middle. And still no show of emotion from the Spanish coach Del Bosque. Certainly a show of emotion though from Jesús Navas when he stabbed in the equalising goal. And they'll make a change very late on here, Chile. Alexis Sánchez will go off.
With 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, Junior Fernandez will come on for one of the shortest appearances in international football history.
I think so. I hope he's on an appearance money.
Wouldn't it be ironic if the referee blows the whistle as the goal kick is taken?
He's taking his time, Bravo. He's not doing his teammates any favours. Oh, there's a flare on.
Yeah, that seems to be the reason why.
It's all fun and games here in Geneva.
Well, eventually Bravo gets the game underway. Junior Fernandez plays for Dinamo Zagreb. I don't think he's going to get much of an opportunity to make an impact in this one.
At least he's had a touch. There it is.
Away by Nacho Monreal as far as Isla. Well, they'll get a draw, Chile, and they were so close to a victory against the reigning world champions, and you could see there Sampaoli strop off towards the tunnel. He is bitterly disappointed, along with his players, that they couldn't quite see the job out, Steve.
Yeah, you're right, you see Vidal